The UK Prime Minister says Britain and Russia share the aim of ending the bloody conflict in Syria, adding that Moscow and London still have their differences on the issue. Let's find out if there's been any big progress in overcoming those difficulties during the meeting in Sochi. We'll talk to author John Wight. He's extensively been covering the situation in Syria. He's joining us live on the line now. Hi, John. So then we've got Moscow, we've got London, Washington agreeing to hold an international meeting on the Syria conflict. All sounds fantastic. However, it's going to be a different thing, I guess, getting the two warring sides to talk to each other. How much of a problem is that going to be?
Well, it's going to be a major problem given that the opposition is now made up of an al-Qaeda affiliate almost exclusively, Jabhat al-Nusra. This gang of cutthroats has waged savage war in the country against a largely civilian population. So it'd be hard to consider that the Syrian people would be happy with their government talking to these people. Many of them are foreign fighters. They've come across the border from Jordan and Turkey and Iraq. So it'd be very difficult to see how that would fit with the Syrian people, given the nature of the struggle on the ground. We've now seen the Syrian National Army enjoying some significant success in the last few weeks in taking back rebel-held areas of the country. And I think this has produced a panic, actually, in Washington, London and Paris, which is why David Cameron has been so keen to fly to Russia to meet with Vladimir Putin.
I wondered during that meeting today, I asked this to our guest earlier on, I mean, one of the sticking points here, the UK is still pushing, isn't it, to lift the arms embargo, to arm the rebels. It's very difficult to tie that in at the same time with Britain saying it wants peace. How does that work? And I wonder, after that meeting with Putin today in Sochi, will the UK be softening its line on that, do you think?
Well, I think it will have to, because, as I say, the conflict is not going their way. They were hoping to destroy the Assad regime on the way to weakening the axis of resistance in the region, comprising Syria, Hezbollah and Iran. And it's certainly not working out that way because politically of Russia's political opposition to Western military intervention. But let's be clear, the West is already intervening militarily. It's doing so through the Gulf states, the Saudi kleptocracy, Qatar and Jordan, funneling weapons, funneling money to the rebels. But even so, the Syrian National Army is managing to maintain control of the significant parts of the country and managing to enjoy some successes on the ground. There's no doubt that despite the propaganda campaign being waged against the Assad regime, it still enjoys significant support within Syria itself, and that is key.
I wonder the other issue, and we were talking about what may have or may not been talked about at this meeting in Sochi today. The other issue, of course, chemical weapons. Britain kind of stating that the government has used them. The UN saying, well, no, there's a report out completely contradictory to that, saying it's the rebels. Why doesn't, on the face of it at least, Britain seem to be wanting to take a look at that evidence about the rebels?
Well, all you have to do is look at Britain's record when it comes to alleging countries holding and using WMD. They obviously...
Yeah, but surely lessons were learned, weren't they?
It seems not. It seems when you're talking about a wider geopolitical struggle, which is what we're seeing taking place, that nothing is off the table when it comes to British government involvement and its determination to affect a favourable outcome, not in the interest of the Syrian people. It should be said, but in the interests of London and Washington and Paris. So, you know, for London to allege that the Syrian government and the Syrian National Army has been using chemical weapons, I think we take that with a 2-ton dose of salt.
Writer John Wight, thanks ever so much for being on the programme. Much appreciated.